This is currently where I produce my videos. While I've managed to make it work so far, as I continue to make more videos and try to improve their quality, the lack of organization is taking its toll. I work a full-time job, so most of my day is already spoken for before I even wake up. I come home excited to get working on a project, but the lack of organization causes so many "I know I haves" and "where did I put" and "it was just in my hands" that by the time everything is together, I've lost motivation and need to think about other things like eating food and spending time with people. If I want to be able to make the kind of videos that I want to make, and at the quality that I want to make them, I need to be able to spend more time on my videos. And until I can get my time machine working, I'm going to need to organize so I can use my time as effectively as possible. The first step in this process is going to be clearing everything out, so I have a blank space to design my organization around. I've broken the problem down to my 4 elements of organization: working space, tools, electronics, and filming space. The first thing we're going to tackle is going to be my working space. Having everything perfectly organized won't really mean much if I can't actually use things after I find them. I have 2 main objectives for my working space. Number 1 is to have a space that I know is only for project-specific items, so that I can quickly identify and deal with clutter creeping in. And number 2 is to provide a physical location to build the rest of my organization around. While thinking about how I'm going to organize everything, I want to keep in mind a concept from one of the greatest makers of our time, Adam Savage. First order retrievability. You might get an idea for what it means just from the name, but who better to explain it fully than Adam himself?
First order retrievability. This is my preference for working, in which I have the tools that I need on a daily or hourly basis set out so that they're all at my disposal.
My thinking is that if I can use first order retrievability as a guiding principle during my organization, it will help me to be as efficient as possible when everything is done. In order to achieve both of my goals, I purchased this silicone mat, meant for kitchens, on Amazon. This mat is 28 inches by 20 inches, which provides me with plenty of space to work. The black also contrasts well, making it easy to tell where it starts and stops, which helps a lot to really anchor my working space. As an added bonus, the listing online says that it is heat-proof up to 446 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't plan to leave anything hot directly on it on purpose, but knowing that a bead of hot solder or a hot glue gun I forgot about won't melt my table is nice. With the location of my working space figured out and anchored with the mat, I can move on to the next organizational element: tools. I don't have a huge number of tools, but they are important and take up the most space, so I think tackling them next makes the most sense. Drilling, soldering, gluing, snipping, cutting, slicing, stripping wires, and testing connections are all just some of the things that require tools and can come up when working on a project. Keeping first order retrievability in mind, I need to think about where my tools will go and how they will be arranged so that I can get to them when I need them and not be fumbling around looking for them. Additionally, I have taken inspiration from another creator named Scott U. John, who made a video explaining his process for organizing his desk drawer. He created custom 3D printed containers for everything he stores in his desk drawer, because as he explains it,
existing drawer organizers don't organize your stuff, they just kind of divide up your stuff into smaller units of mess.
I want to avoid this issue, so I'll be doing the same thing he is in his video. With my final layout figured out, I started working on creating the containers to hold them. I started by taking a picture of everything from above next to a ruler for scale. With the photos taken, I imported them into a program called FreeCAD that will allow me to model them into actual tool holders. I can calibrate the image using the ruler in the picture, so that when I draw on the image, it is at real-life scale. Once the image is scaled, I can create an outline of each object. Before printing each final tool holder, I just quickly printed the outline I traced in FreeCAD to make sure that they fit so I don't waste time and plastic. Once I was happy with the outlines, I bought a new roll of filament to make all the holders and got to printing. Things are really starting to come together, and I'm actually feeling like I'm getting a handle on everything. That pretty much squares away the organization of my tools. And next up is electronics. Dealing with the electronics organization has been one of my biggest concerns. There are tons of different sizes and shapes and many ways to organize everything. Do the regular LEDs go with the multicolor ones? Do the servos go with the regular motors? Does the pineapple go on the pizza? Maybe I'm getting a little lost here. I don't really know the best way to organize everything right now, so I'm going to approach this problem a little differently. Instead of trying to figure out where everything goes, I'm going to spend my effort figuring out the best way to organize things so that I can adjust it later as I figure out what I need. There are lots of systems out there right now for modular 3D printed organization. The problem I have is that I don't really have the space to use these systems to organize everything the way I want to. I also want to be able to take advantage of the space I have under my workspace. I think the solution to both of these problems is these part storage bins. There are plenty of spaces for all the little parts and pieces I have, and they can be reorganized. I can also move these boxes around and everything will stay organized. This means I can have just the stuff I need out while working on a project and not anything extra, which will help reduce clutter. I got a whole bunch of these from Harbor Freight, but you can get similar stuff from Amazon or other stores. Now the only thing left to do is the actual organization. With that done, I feel like I actually have a good space to keep my things organized and work on my projects. With electronics done, the only element of my organization left is video space. Right now, I don't really need anything fancy for my video space. Just a clean and clear area with good light and a good place to put the camera. After organizing everything, it seems I've really gotten these things for free. And with that, my organization is complete. I'm really happy with how everything turned out and have a renewed excitement for working on my projects. Speaking of future projects, if you want to support me in creating new and awesome things, consider joining my Patreon. I want to thank Pam, Christian, Robin, and Joshua for their continued support, and a special thanks to Kim and Marcelino for their new membership.